Morning, Eric. Sorry, I forgot to turn the sound on while I was working out my video problem. Turned out that the problem was being caused by the fact that I tried to use what I would expect to have been a better hub. It did not turn out to be a better hub, but I think I know what's causing that too, and I have to fix that a different way. It'll be a better hub next week. This week, we have to stick with the way it was. Anvil focus. We have camera, yes. Vice focus. We have to make it have a camera by going over here. Helps if I actually Hey, Kevin. Thanks for jumping on this morning. Had some technical difficulties to get things started because I tried to improve matters and only made things worse. All right. Now we can get the show started. Enjoy the train going by. There we go. Let's get some fire stoked. How's everybody this fine morning? My donkey has been having a field day busting into my Smithy, trying to find out if there's anything fun to eat in here. There's not. But she's knocking stuff over and just being a general nuisance. I got donkey drool on my fire extinguisher. There we go. All right. I spent so much time thinking it was a software issue I was messing with, forgetting that this wasn't the machine I changed software on. I have another laptop that I do some OBS on for work, where I do my testing of stuff, and forgot that this wasn't the one I did the testing on. The work laptop was, and this problem was actually hardware. I upgraded my my hub for work so I could have multiple monitors, and took the powered hub I was using at work and brought it out here. But then I hooked it up with a lame cable and an adapter, and I think that just wasn't doing the trick at all. So later I'll get back on with this thing with a better cable and see if it works any better having done so. In the meantime, fell back to the way things were set up last week. The reason I'm trying to do this is because the hub that I currently use can sap the power of the Mac as I'm working, doing my live stream. It'd be better if I didn't have to worry about that, my Mac running out of juice while I'm doing a live stream. So a powered hub is a smarter way to go. Now, why is this, well, let's do this a different way then. Tools, Nope. Nope. There we go. Docs. Chat. Pull the chat up so I can actually see it when it's not scrolled up on the screen for some reason. Oh, because it scrolls the other way, my dummy. The old donkey and the Smithy problem. Yep, exactly. In other news, our chicken ranch has become a little larger because of the coyotes that we had before we had the donkey, and various birds of prey. We lost roughly 15 chickens over the course of the last year and a half. And so we just replaced them with 20 chicks we just got. Some Easter eggers and some a variety of there it is, of a variety of what did she call it? Unique breeds. This is an awfully long. I'm going to make a bigger leaf this time. Don't have a lot of mass to make a bigger leaf, but we're going to do it anyway. We'll make a chunkier leaf. All because of the way I left it off last time. Yeah, this weekend I was torn, and then the decision was made for me. My wife bought me 4-day passes to Emerald City Comic Con. It's always fun to go to those because I love the art, and it's fun to see the kids get all dressed up in cosplay. I have my own cosplay for Batman, a steampunk Batman, but I've gotten lazy in my old age. I don't feel like bothering to get it all out and put it on in the heat of summer because it's all leather. But I do go and enjoy seeing the cosplay going on and all the artwork that's out there. But these old hips, I'm not that old, but injuries, you know. I've decided walking a few miles is a real burden. Standing is a real burden. It's why you don't see me stand still. So Friday was my day there. Oop, slipped up. Pull it back. And I just slipped into the old habit of doing it the way I've been doing it instead of going and using the new technique. Oh well. I'll do the new technique next time. So the concern was with a 4-day pass, that would have been Thursday, not Friday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then I realized I don't have to do it on Saturday. I can let one of my older boys who don't have the money to buy these tickets to enjoy one of those days instead. So I went Thursday, one of my boys went Friday, a couple of my boys are going to go today, and then I'll go again with the wife Sunday. Grandpa's Forge, nice. Fix the air leaks, yeah. Using charcoal? All right, let's clean that up. All right, we can take a chunk a bit off more there. Sparks blowing out the underneath. Wow. You were getting hot. Just we're not where you wanted it to be. There we go. Warm up this. Too much. I'm so worried about burning it off that I'm putting too deep into the fire. All right. There we go. Clean that up. Round it up. That'll be ready to go. Huh. Everything seems to be working. I just got a notification that one of my accessories is using too much power. Let's make sure it isn't the one accessory I'm not giving any power to at the moment. Not that I think it'll make a difference. But it can't hurt, I think. Well, we still seem to be online, so. You hadn't actually watched your grandfather Smith as a kid? Yeah, it twisted on me. Fix that. There we go. Keeps wanting to twist. All right. I took care of those corners. Let's go and take care of these corners. And let's look. All right, good. Didn't twist so much as to not get the opposite corner, so hit it back up, finish the rounding. That's an extra long. I don't think this leaf's going to look quite as leafy as so many of my other leaves. Transcendental Artist Studio. Hey guys. What's going on, Sully? Yeah, I accidentally. So Kevin, last week, and I've now rearranged everything on my, here you can see, there is no end stream on here anymore. Come on. I'm going to do it from down here. Nope. I could, but then I'd have to actually refocus. Hold on. There we go. There's no more end stream on this one anymore, for a reason. These are all my scenes. I had meant to change scenes when I accidentally hit end stream. Oops. So I've learned from that lesson. I've learned from that lesson. Moved it off that screen. And now that's just for scenes. But I did start the stream back up again. It's just, yeah. Learning pains, man. I mean, pros like Sully would never make that kind of mistake, but that looks like a stem. Let's go ahead and make the rest of it look like a leaf, sorta. We'll see. That is not a short taper. Happy little mistakes, yeah? You know, happy little mistakes in the smithing process is a rapid, is a, you know, is an opportunity for rethinking what art piece you're making. But happy little mistakes on the stream, that just teaches me what not to do the next time. Get back in the pot. All right, we're gonna go with it because I'm gonna burn off that tip if I don't. Yep, an opportunity for an alternate project. As long as it isn't, what does that phrase go? Rapid, rapid reassembly or rapid disassembly. Yeah, this is an ugly leaf this morning, mainly because I didn't take the time to trim off that excessively long bit. I can fix that. Or I can just leave it and not worry about it and move on to the other, whatever else I'm going to do today. Rapid unscheduled deconstruction. Yeah, we don't want that. Rapid unscheduled disassembly. Not horrible, not great, but not horrible. Nope, I know what I want. There we go. I don't want this anymore. Real quick here. Very close, very close. All right. Take it here real quick. Cooling down fast. Roll it around. There we go. Cool off the piece I don't want hot anymore. All right, warm that up. Try not to make a sparkler. Try not to burn up my tools. Decomposing? Isn't it a little too early for that? Although I was just complaining about my hips, so what am I saying? And I'm only 54, so... Yeah, I like that. All right. Getting it too hot. Try not to put kinks in it. Don't mind my kink talk here, but I don't want my bends to be kinky. Come over here. Just realized what I could be doing here. Nope, still not getting it right. One of these days I'm going to figure out how to use this tool. I think the problem is I need to get it hot in a place I'm not getting it hot. So we'll switch it around. We'll try to get that spot hot. Every tool is a hammer. Well, I just watched the Alex Steele build of a crescent wrench, so yeah. Come on, there we go. There we go. It's all about applying leverage in the right place. Hi, Rosie. You're not supposed to be in here. This is what I have to deal with. Hold on. Why did we do that? Really? Incredible. You might have just caught her. There we go. Donkey hanging out there tried to come in the other way. But now I've got the shape I want. I'm going to tighten that up a little bit. Or burn up the leaf, one or the other. That's typically how this goes. Yes, his adjustable spanner hammer. And let's that will do the trick. Time to brush it off, call it complete, and decide what I'm going to do next. There we go. So, that is sufficiently leaf-shaped to put with all the other leaf-shaped items I have. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to mute it for a second so you don't have to put up with the noise. And I just remembered what I forgot to do this morning. You guys are looking at my funky pair of new glasses, but you're not, because wrong one. Because you're not. I forgot to put on my safety glasses. Ugh. So the kids at home understand safety first. I joke, but I joke mainly because I have a bad memory sometimes about these things. And this is one of those moments where having safety glasses makes a whole heck of a lot of sense, because you don't know when, let me just put it back down here again, when one of these bristles is going to say, I've bent back and forth enough, I'm about to fly off the brush. And then that thing comes flying eyeward and you're in trouble. So, joking aside, wear your safety glasses when you're using things that are going to fling metal at you. There'll be plenty of people who say, oh, I never wear safety glasses, and I've never had it. It's absolutely true. They're not lying to you. But luck is a funny thing. Doing all the wrong things and you get away with it? Great. Smarter to do the right things and not have to worry about whether you got away with it or not. That is a lot of hammering. all over the world. One of these days, I'll serenade y'all, but I never have a song ready in my head. I need wax. And Peter, Paul, and Mary is a good one to sing for sure. Let's see. Try not to burn myself in the process of putting on the wax. Yep. Just hot enough. Get a little bit of smoke, means it's getting in. I was thinking about this the other day. We use shorthand all the time when we talk about certain things as smiths. We talk about the pores of the metal. I'm not going to argue with any smith who thinks that metal is porous, but metal is a crystalline structure, and steel is amazing because it has multiple crystalline structures, but still doesn't have pores per se. But what it does have is microfissures and gaps between the crystalline structure, and so there's no reason to not just call it pores. When you see the smoke, you know it's hot enough for the wax to settle down in there. But you don't want too much wax. All solid matter is porous, absolutely, in a way. There are gaps between everything. So that much smoke, you can still see wax is on there, is an appropriate amount of smoke. I'm going to let that stand there for a second. I'm going to go grab my rag. And I use beeswax on this. You can use other sealants, but I use beeswax on this because they are going to be key rings, attached to them. There is a chance a key ring will end up in an infant's mouth, and I don't want anybody to have a reason to say that there was something about what I put on my stuff that caused the baby to get sick. So, food safe. That is still quite warm. All right. That looks leaf shape enough. It's a little more pointy than others. That just means it's a better personal protection device. Let's let that sit and cool for a second. And what do I want to do now? I want to do something with a larger piece of material because I can. I am running real short on material. I need to do something about that. Oh, I know what I can do. I can make a simple bracelet. I need to start making gifts for the season. We're almost in spooky season, which means it's probably past time for me to start creating gifts for the holiday season. So, real simple project that people enjoy are bracelets. So let's make one. Project I did last week. My neighbor liked it. Now I got to go get the material to actually do it the right way. But sign hanger process has started. A singularity. Interesting. I'll scroll back here for a second. Yeah, right? It is so much easier than trying to explain it all. Oh, cool. I appreciate it. It's not my, normally my leaves are not so pointy. They have a point for the purpose of making a key ring that someone who feels they need to gouge an eye, you know, make someone back off can do so. But never normally that long of a point to the leaf, but it turned out pretty decent. I don't take the time to bother with putting actual stem marks on. For its form, what it's going to do, I don't see that there's a real good reason to do that. That's what I want to do. I think I'm going to make a scroll. There we go. At the ends. People like to call this thing a Viking style of bracelet. I don't know if there's any historical evidence behind that statement or not, but all I'm doing is moving some of the material. It's a very slight piece of rod. I think it's 1/4 inch. Let me see. Yeah, 1/4 inch. Moving some of that material back in again. So I can make a little bit of a fishtail scroll on the end. Doesn't require heavy hits. So you can get away with doing it just like this. And if you don't get the heat so far up, you don't accidentally bend it every time you hit it. Let's see if I can control the heat a little better. Hey, Paul. Well, you missed the creation of the leaf. As usual, takes me longer than it should, but got that done. And then, winging it based on the limited amount of material I have available, I decided it's time to start working on holiday gifts. So you haven't missed much yet. Well, you've missed all the cool conversation these guys have been having. That's always a compelling reason to be here to begin with. Yeah, selectively quench. Yeah, that's a good idea too. Material length is the tricky part for sure. I'm going to actually shoot for being a little short this time for a change, and make it something I can send my granddaughter and my grandson. Let's do that selectively quench business. I do have the ability to do that. There we go. Yeah, that worked nicely. Well, thank you, Eric. Since I'm not trying to make a living off of this, I'm just enjoying the journey. Time really isn't all that important as to how long I take to do it. I think that's enough material pushed back in there to make a little fishtail scroll. Oh no! Yeah, I'm having trouble because of, I know why I'm having trouble, but I'll get her fixed pretty quick. But it's annoying. There we go. The Mac is like not happy. That's why I tried to switch it up, but didn't accomplish that task very well. All right. For the newbies that come across my channel and haven't seen John Switzer, you'll see that I touched it with the back of my hand. I have no science behind this, but it made sense when he said it to me, or to me, to all of us who watch his channel, that your hand is more quickly to withdraw, curl away from heat, being burned, if you use the back of your hand. So all I was doing is checking to see that that's cool enough now to pick up so I can throw it in my pocket so I don't forget it out here. But yeah, there's enough material pushed back in there to get a little pretty little scroll. Maybe not a fishtail, but something like it. Now it's time to start flattening things out. I tried that Vegemite stuff once. Wasn't a fan. And I try everything once. Time to put some fuel on top of that. I see too much fire. Push it back, way back. Nope. All right. The ladies would appreciate it if you develop an accent. Bearing grease, nice. Let's go ahead and get that scroll going. First, thin this out just a little more. Oh, wow. That wasn't even. Might have to take a, let me think about that. Stay. That came out all sorts of wonky. I did not spread that evenly at all. I see how that happened. I can fix it by doing the same if I can be good about hitting it on the other side. Like the Spanish Inquisition? There we go. A little more rounded out. Better. I feel better about that. Now I can scroll that. I feel good about that. Didn't have to break out a file even. Anybody who's ever seen me comment on a Bladesmith's build will know how much I love doing all the things that smiths do that doesn't involve a hammer. Now, I don't use this a whole lot, but because this is going to be on a body part, I want to make sure things are smooth and clean as I work it. And it's just a butcher block brush. Again, for those who aren't doing this professionally. Very inexpensive tool you can find. On Amazon. But it works a lot better than most steel brushes do. Close that up just a little bit. Yep, there we go. Getting a nice little, here, we'll bring it in tighter. There we go. Nice little curl going in there. That'll be onto the, if I do this right, that'll be onto the outside of the wrist underneath. Very easy to burn that off. We're making a bracelet. Just a little bracelet. I've realized it's getting to spooky season, which means I'm already probably behind and getting to the gift making stuff. So, time to start thinking about what kind of things I can make that I can send off to grandkids. All right. Now it's not as pretty as it was before. So this will probably not be the one I send off. It'll be the learning how to do it right one. Not bad though. So keep on going. Were they ever any good? Thin mints are not the ones I'll eat. I had a bad encounter with mint in a prior marriage. And my current wife, they thought that was a hilarious thing to deal with, and had my buddies bring rumple mints to our elopement party. So me and mint don't get along. Hell, I use like I'll use a cinnamon toothpaste just to avoid mint if I can. I might even enjoy Vegemite toothpaste more than I would mint toothpaste. All right, let's continue with the flattening process. Yeah, the hammer marks will be gone before I'm done. Smooth it all out. It's got to sit on a wrist. And the kids won't care that it's authentic looking or not. But I will. All right. Keep on going. I was telling the early birds here that there was a point when I realized this week was Emerald City Comic Con, and that my wife had gotten us 4-day passes, that I realized that my promise of being here every Saturday at 9 a.m. might have failed this week, and I had forgotten to tell everybody that last week. My body, on the other hand, said, "You know how much walking that is?" and gave me some grief about it Thursday when I went. So I realized I got some boys who would enjoy going to see the show, and let them have the passes for until tomorrow anyway. starting to eyeball how much more material I need, which isn't all that much more. And then what I have to remember to do is when I'm done, take the remaining stock, measure it against a bar that I haven't used yet, and that'll tell me how much I'll need for each time I make one of these. There we go. Get that more centered. All right. My wrist is much bigger than the kid's wrist, but we're getting close. I suspect I could cut it off right about there and have enough material to finish it up. So, let's do it that way, and we'll see if I'm right. Use a nice sharp edge on my anvil here. Mark it, cut it off in a moment. Huh. Well, thanks, Restream chat. You guys have been busy talking enough that Restream basically said, congrats, you made it to 100 messages. Vegemite toothpaste is not good at all. It was taken off. So, well, they do like to use charcoal for toothpaste, so yeah. Let's see, turn that around, take it over here. Nothing exciting, but I'm going to show it anyway. Some light might be useful. I don't think you can even see that. That's okay, you still can't see it. It'll be bright enough in a second. We're going to switch hammers though. I do not want to hurt that hammer. Let's go ahead and use this one. Cheap Harbor Freight hammer with a handle that is way too long, and I've only partially charred. I did at least dress it and remove the shellac. Something I recommend everybody do if they're going to get themselves a Harbor Freight hammer as their first blacksmithing hammer. Otherwise, you're going to end up with blisters, and you're going to have lots of dents in your material. But otherwise, there's nothing wrong with a Harbor Freight hammer. I would recommend going lighter than heavier. You don't need to be burly to be a blacksmith. Just have to have some good intentions. All right. Find my mark again. There it is. Pull it up until I feel it. There it is. Cut it off. Would help if I hit it direct on. And I'm not worried about cutting to a, you're going to see, I'll bring it back over here. It's spread out right there, right? And it's got a bevel, but that's all good because I need to spread that anyway. So that's what we'll do. We'll just stress it right off. Warm that up just so I can straighten it. And then it'll be time to break out tongs for the rest of the work. So, for the newbies joining the channel, you can get away with doing this craft with a pair of lockjaw tongs or some dikes, but I'd highly recommend getting a pair of tongs at your earliest convenience. Let's dress that up so it's not like that when I do it, come back at it another day. Watch the toe. That wasn't a work piece that fell, but if you still feel like you need to take a drink because something fell on the ground, go for it. I've been slacking today. Nothing's fallen on the ground work piece wise. All right, good enough. Put that down there for now. Ah, wait a minute. I said I wanted to do this. Let's do this before I forget. What time is it? Oh yeah, we got plenty of time. Let's get this out of the way for a second. Pull this back just a bit. There we go. And set that there, actually. Yep. Grab another one that hasn't been used yet. I'm eyeballing it and it looks about like 5.5 inches, but we'll see in a second. Where did I put it? There it is. Yep, good. Triple check that I didn't. 5 inches. So, if anybody wanted to know how to make this and felt they needed to know how much material was being used, that's 5 inches that I used there. Now we'll find out if it was enough. All right. See me dance a lot in my Smithy because I forget where things are. Skin infections, toothaches, broken bones. Well, see, toothaches, there you go. Gunshot and 100 other things, but not cleaning the teeth. Okay. Don't use them much. Most of what is done has been, what I've done has been scrolls, usually long enough where I don't need tongs. There you go. Yeah, and if you were on here last week, you saw that I basically did that. I didn't have to have tongs for last week's work. Trail Dust does some amazing scroll work for making benches. Got to go check out his channel. I have to go watch his channel over and over and over again and just study the layout. So I can do more and more ornamental sign hangers or whatever. Just really pretty stuff. Nope, 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 nope. Let's get them flat. Then go over the edge. And then here, I don't want to go out the edge because I don't want it to use up that material lengthwise. I want to spread it. So let's see if I can actually pull that off. I seem to actually have pulled it off. I think I learned some stuff from you guys after all. All right, how am I going to do this? I need that to hold still long enough so I can knock off those corners. Or I can break out a file. Probably be the easiest way to deal with this. That might have been sufficient though. So then is it the easiest way? All right. Go ahead and warm it up some more. Clean up the edges. He'll tell you some hokum like, you know, it's just a hobby for him. He does it in his spare time and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that's not true, but some good stuff. Kevin, aren't you the one that also did the really cool, dagnabbit, kinetic ball things, ball art? All right, I'm going to switch tongs. These are just not the right ones. There it is, drop forged. I don't think I can actually do that, can I? That'd be hilarious. I don't think you guys could hear that. I have a little audio here that I've got to figure out how to get the audio mixer to work right. But that was the pour yourself a cool beverage sound. I like it. One of the nice things about having a pricey new anvil is it makes for some clean forging if you, maybe even if you do have bad hammer control. Yeah. Dress that end up a little bit. All I'm doing is dressing the material up so I don't have to clean up a whole lot. A little bit of planishing here, a little bit of planishing there. Saves a whole lot of, okay, get my scroll in the right direction, and that was the right direction. Saves a whole lot of grinding. I think it was one of Fire Creek Forge's knife builds that I made a comment about why I'm not a bladesmith. And somebody replied back, you could always, you know, not their words, but basically forge to finish. And it's true. That's what I go for. If I have to do a knife build, it's going to be as close to forge to finish as possible. Forged bevels, forged everything. I don't want to stand at a grinder for hours. Because heavens knows, as long as I stand at this anvil, it's going to take that long standing at the grinder too. Close that up a little, close that up a little. Just keep closing it up. Get it re-centered. That's pretty close to where it needs to be. There we go. You missed that because I have it pulled in too tight, but use the Pritchell hole to get a better position on that scroll, get it more aligned to the center. All right, that is the hard part done. Next part is to do now clearly, because of the way I went about this, and so in the future maybe I would just cut off 5 inches and push in both ends before I work it to get the bulk that I want on this end that I got on that end, because the scroll on this end doesn't quite look the same as the scroll on that end. I'll deal with that. I'll live with that for this build. Let's see what else. I think this scroll is actually a prettier looking scroll overall, because I didn't get it so thin and then collapse it in on itself so much. Let's see, can I get the right angle? Yes, I can. This scroll Let's see about burning myself here on this. Nope, forward, there we go. This scroll I think is just nicer looking than this one. But now the thing is, to finish this up, I could just bend it and it's a bracelet. Or I can do what I'm going to do, which is right in the middle. I'm going to do the traditional hugs and kisses. So let's get that done. To do that, you need a punch or the best thing would be a center punch, but I haven't finished mine yet. So instead I'm going to use a hole punch that I have a sharpened point on. And then I need just a chisel. So, put away my forging hammer. I don't want to use that for this. We'll come out here with my fisker. And let's see. Middle mark would be here. I'm going to grab them. That's what I'm going to do. Let's use the anvil for layout. So six and a half inches roughly. So that would be 3 and 3.25, 6 and a half, 3.25, yeah. So that would be here. So let's make some marks. We got this point, we got this point, and this isn't marking worth a hoot. That would make this the 3.5 mark. And then if I go here, I could just eyeball all this, but I think I'd like to have something that looks like I tried. Hey sis, how are things going? So if I were to do this, I would think I'd want an X. And helps if you have, there we go. That looks about right. Yep. That's your second opportunity. Go get your coffee. Things are more likely to go flying when you're chiseling on them, I guess. Well, that's not the best looking X. Whale poo. And boy, did things bounce around a lot. Hadn't realized how much they were bouncing around, or let me just see something. It wasn't that they were bouncing around. My measurements were wrong. Oh well. This is the first pass at this anyway, so there's where the X should have been. So this one won't be the one I give away. This will not be the gift. This will be the prototype of the gift. And then we put the kisses in. There's one. There's one. And there's one. Hey, that time it wasn't the work piece. There we go. All right. So, poorly done X's and O's this time. They'll get better the next time. Oh, yeah, power hammer, absolutely. All right, time to actually see if I can bend this into a bracelet-like shape without goofing something up. Did my fire go out? Not yet. There you go. Was it your first cowbell? I have a whole lot of firsts at this point that came out wonky, but I think are cool, so I'm keeping them. One day I decided, my wife was like, you need to make a, I'm gonna pull back so you can see it. You need to make a bag hanger. Like when you go to a bar, it would be nice not have to worry about where your bag is hanging, you know, for a lady. So I made this. Now here's the fun part. I made this out of a railroad spike. So there's the hook. And it'll never probably get used by anybody or anything, but I just loved the organic look of it while it was still clearly a railroad spike. And it just sits there on the edge of your counter or whatever. I can't put it any place better, so let's put it right there. And you would just hang a bag on it. See if I've got anything I can hang on it. I don't think I do at the moment. Well, yeah, I can do this. And it's weighted in such a way that, you know, it's not going anywhere. It'll stay on the counter where it's supposed to. And on top of that, if you need a shillelagh, you know, after an evening at the bar, so silly things I've made that probably won't go anywhere. Eight hours, nice. Yeah, I get you. All right, let's cool off the tip here just so we don't accidentally bend it funny. bring it here, and bring it around. Yep. It's like, that's not laying flat. It's not supposed to when you got a scroll in the way. Okay. That's one side. Get the other side around, and then we'll see about putting a little bit of a bend in the middle. Wow, holding on to bent things after you've bent them is a pain. All right, there we go. Well, we use our air fryer all the time, except we ended up getting one of the ones that there's an air fryer, a toaster, convection oven, all in one. Some of my favorite stuff, I think I showed it in one of my live streams, is when you make gates and such that are organic. You don't have to worry about everything being straight. The whole point is to not be straight. All right. There we go. And it turns out this actually may be adult size, not child size. So I get to wear it. Ha! We'll see. I got to open it back up again to get across a wrist, so that may not be the case. Because that is not open enough to get across a wrist. So this side has to open up a little bit. Close to done. Personally, I see this as more like a Celtic style than a Viking style, but I'm not a history buff. I just play one in my mind. Only for the shrimp. Just about right. And open this side just a little bit so that I can actually make it over a wrist. We'll see. We'll see. Not much though. I think that'll do. I'm going to go ahead and quench it so I can try it on. Then I'll heat it back up and put some wax on it. I think I have discovered 5 inches is adult-sized. And I also realized there was one thing I didn't do in my forging that I should have done, which was bevel the inside edge on both sides, because that's going to be a little uncomfortable, I think. Yeah, that doesn't go on my wrist. That might fit on a kid's wrist. My wrists are not very big to begin with, so we'll see. We're going to have to play with that a little bit. I know some kids I can try this out on. And I might just go ahead and take a grinding die on my Dremel and clean that, bevel those after the fact now. But let's go ahead and cure it up right now. Doo-doo-doo. First things first. Pull this back this away, because you get to see the exciting process of just cleaning something. Oh, and you get to see my little mutt hanging out there with me. He likes to come out every time I come out here. Let's see if this is going to work. Hey, look at that. Let's make some noise. Let me know if I should mute myself. Doing that does heat up the metal a little bit. Not so much as to cause me pain, but it can. Yames! Hey there! Trying bracelets on kids. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I've got a round file here. I can go grab that here in a second. Then I don't have to break out the Dremel. There was a couple of those metal pieces flying. Felt them on my knuckle and on my face. Nice, nice. All right. Warm, but not too warm to the touch. Let's go ahead and grab that round file I was talking about. The round file that your rabbit looks worried. I think that's the first time anybody called him a rabbit. He barely has enough hair to be called a dog. I've got both a round file plus a rounded file, so I'm going to use the rounded file since there we go. Things are in the way. I have a very tight space here. It's all of like 12 foot by 12 foot. away from my jaws. Good. Feel that. Feels all right. Let's go to the other side. Doesn't look bad either. I think I'm going to take a piece of sandpaper to smooth it. Okay. Because that's getting the right bevel on there, but it feels rough because of the teeth marks. Oh, and anybody who wants to tell me I'm doing it wrong, they're welcome to do so, because I don't know what I'm doing. That's a rabbit. I'll have to tell my wife. I don't think she minds having a rabbit, but I don't think that's what she signed the paperwork for. That feels good. You can see it too. It looks pretty good. A little bit of sandpaper will make that feel good too. Other side. This is gripping blacksmithing work, but it is part of the blacksmithing work, so might as well do it on air. I wish more bladesmiths spent time showing the clock hours. They don't have to actually put the bladesmiths, I hope I said bladesmiths, because I don't think people give them credit for just how much effort is involved in doing a properly finished blade. Everybody sees silly things like cast iron blades on fantasy shows, or they see the striking of the metal. And they don't realize just how much work they are and why. Everybody asks me, "Oh, do you make knives?" And I have to say, "No, I don't make knives." And that's not what blacksmiths did, principally. Cool. Good, good. Forging and filing, yep. Embedded rabbit. I have one knife that I still haven't finished. Bring it over here to see. And I won't say it sucks, because I don't feel that it sucks, but it is a matter of the finishing that I just haven't gotten myself to do. And it's intent. This knife was requested of me, and I was told the first one is mine, which this is going to be mine. So I don't feel bad that this is actually not half bad, considering it's the first knife I've ever made. I've made a couple of plunge daggers out of railroad spikes, because you can and people want you to, but it's fairly straight. There's still a little bit of straightening work I can do. It hasn't been hardened or tempered yet, or heat treated in any way, really. But the finish work is what's needed, and it's a barbecue knife. That's what I was asked to make, was a barbecue knife. So I was given a pair of coil springs off of an old Chevy Nova, 70s Nova, and he said the first one's yours, but the second one I want. So I'm making him a barbecue knife and barbecue fork. And so yeah, little signature leaf on it. I haven't figured out what I'm doing there yet. I might curl that around to be a loop that I can then put a cord through. But yeah, that's my one knife so far, other than silly plunge daggers out of things that aren't meant to be knives. Oh, as Yamas always says, smoosh that like button. You all are pretty good about that stuff. And I always like the reminder, because I always come onto the stream, and about 5 minutes in, I remember, oh, I need to hit that, probably because one of you guys said it. So. Feels good. Yep. Take off some burrs with the flat side. My finish actually, my forging wasn't half bad. That's showing very minor hammer divots. I don't know if you guys can see that in that camera. You ever want to know how many hammer divots you're leaving in your work? This is again for the noobs out there. The folks who are like, I don't know if I can do this. Yes, you can do this. Please start doing this. We all need to have some creative outlets, and this is an awesome one. But you ever want to see how smooth your forgings are, give a wire brush and then go back over it with a file or sandpaper. The shiny spots are the plane you're going for, or the highlights, the high points that you left in your work. And the dark points are your hammer marks. Your goal in the long run is to have to do a minimal amount of sanding and filing. All right, much better. Let me grab a little bit of sandpaper. Where did I hide the sandpaper? Ah, there it is. Just a little bit of left sandpaper from an old belt that I had for my belt grinder. And this is one where finishing it with shellac or you know, a boiled linseed oil would be perfectly fine, because this isn't going in anybody's mouth typically. And I might just do that because I like how shiny it's looking. I think that is gift ready. About the only thing that I don't like about it, that's making it so I can't easily gift it, is that my hugs and kisses didn't come out as nice as I'd like them to have come out. Let me bring it down here. Let's try that again. Wow. There we go. I see where it's focusing. Got it. So yeah, my hugs and kisses I got a misstrike on. So it's not as nice as I would like it to be. But it actually doesn't look half bad. And I can actually see it. I should have cleaned that up as I was doing my smithing, my forging, that this area here isn't as clean as it should have been. But as somebody else commented on the channel, that's how you know it's hand forged, right? So that's that. I am over my 11 o'clock mark that I'm supposed to shut off at before the wife says I'm hers. So let me switch scenes here. Back up just a hair. Thank you all for hanging out with me. I always enjoy having somebody to talk to. Keep the banter going. And, you know, being able to share the joy of the craft with folks just stopping by or those who hang out with me during the live stream. The live stream's every week at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. And yeah, so stop on in, come on and hang out a bit, shoot the breeze with some folks who enjoy the craft. Because I've got some amazing regulars on this channel that do some really cool stuff. You should go check out their channels. You should jump on the live streams that are on Island Metal Forge every week. And you should check out, well, come on over there because I need to take some notes so I can actually say this appropriately. But there is a new book out now. They have a podcast. They have some great wisdom about smithing and about metallurgy. And so come out and sit in a couple of live streams from Island Metal Forge. You'll definitely walk away impressed. At least I have. And better informed than you will be from this channel even. So love and light, everybody. Have a great weekend.